This is Alexander Playtime Williams of PlayTimeCares.com. What's up, world? This is Alexander Playtime Williams of PlayTimeCares.com, giving you your full Raw recap of February 1st, 2016. This one took place in Birmingham, Alabama. You had JBL, Michael Cole, and Byron Saxton as your commentators. Started off with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman coming to the ring. Great way to start off the show. And Paul Heyman pretty much said because of the actions of the Wyatt family for the Royal Rumble, that Brock Lesnar will be getting some payback on them boys. He's going to catch them slipping. So I kind of like the way that it started off. The show started off real hot. So then Paul Heyman said that Brock Lesnar was going to actually beat everybody at Fastlane, which is Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. Then he'll be meeting Triple H at WrestleMania. So once he meets Triple H in WrestleMania, he's going to win it, and he'll be once again your reigning, defending. You know the spiel. Well, of course, Dean Ambrose came out. If you remember last week, they was telling Dean Ambrose that he shouldn't overlook Brock Lesnar because he never been in the ring with him. And Dean Ambrose was like, look, I ain't never scared. So he came to the ring to prove that he ain't never scared. He comes to the ring, gets face to face with Brock Lesnar and say, look, I wanted to look the beast right in the eyes and let him know that, I respect you, but I'm not scared of you. And I don't care if my body broken up. I'm going to drag myself to WrestleMania and win that title. So then he leaves out the ring. Of course, Brock Lesnar's laughing about that. Whatever. So your first match is going to be Kalisto versus Rusev. And you have Alberto Del Rio on commentary. They did once again a Royal Rumble recap of Kalisto beating Del Rio for the U.S. title, and then they start the match, and in a predictable nature, Rusev started off real strong, dominating them, and Kalisto pulls off a win just out of nowhere, and so Kalisto, how he pulled off the win is that they both end up fighting outside the ring. And Kalisto was able to sit there and give kind of like a Hurricane Rana and flip Rusev into the barricade and stun him when the referee was already on like 7 for them for a double countout. So he was able to stun him, get in the ring, referee count 10. Kalisto ended up beating Rusev via countout. Match was predictable. It was an average match, 2 out of 5 for me. So the next thing that happened is Stephanie has Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns in her office, and they have the heavyweight title encased in glass. It was like, hey, you like that, Yeah, you're going to look at it. This is about as close as you're going to get to her. My husband going to keep it for a long time, yada, yada, yada. She pretty much brought them there to implant the seed of dissension between them, saying, look, I can name several factions, and she named several groups that actually went against each other because the title was on the line. She said, sooner or later, y'all are going to cut each other's throat in order to get that title. And Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns was like, hey, that's not us. I mean, it is what it is. Stephanie said, okay, we'll see. Well, we're going to see what your teamwork look like tonight. You have to take on the New Day. Crowd erupts. New Day rock. They you heard them all in the background. The crowd erupted about that. So, hey, New Day, man, they need to push them a lot stronger than what they're doing right now. So they flash over to an interview with Nikki Bella. Well, not an interview, but a segment on Nikki Bella saying, look, her surgery was successful and she's at home recovering. She have to stay in bed or, stay at her house for like the next 2 months to, let her back recover and all that type of stuff. So they flashed over to an interview with Brie Bella and was like, hey, how's your sister doing and all that? She's like, oh, yeah, Nikki's doing wonderful. And, she can't wait to get back into action because they know she will. She's a fighter. She's going to fight her way until she actually get back to the action. And Charlotte comes interrupting and was like, look, I almost feel responsible for it because after I whooped her, and re-whooped her in the rematch, she had all of these issues. Maybe it was me that caused her to actually have her last match. And I pretty much ended Nikki's wrestling career. He's like, and now I'm on my way to actually being the longest reigning Divas champion of all time. And then she walks away. So your next match is actually the Usos versus Curtis Axel and Adam Rose with Heath Slater on the outside. It's back and forth action, whatever. And of course, by Heath Slater being out there, he decides that he's going to interfere, and he kind of made the match kind of interesting. But the Usos got a double kick on Adam Rose and then splash off the top rope for a predictable win. 2 out of 5, average match. So the next segment was actually Miz TV. His guest was AJ Styles. So they've had a Raw recap from last week where AJ Styles made his Raw debut and he wrestled Y2J, Chris Jericho, in his match, and he was able to beat Chris Jericho. And the Miz asking him, "Hey, who are you? People want to know who AJ Styles is." And he has the mic to to AJ's mouth, but as soon as AJ about to talk, the Miz yank it back, and he gives kind of like honestly a cool bio on AJ Styles, just a quick bio on him, and then he went from the bio to hey, I see the same potential in them like Daniel Bryan. I'm the one that created Daniel Bryan. I started the Yes movement. I'm responsible for that. AJ Styles not gonna be nothing if he don't sit there and follow me. And he just kept running down AJ Styles, AJ Styles. He's not gonna last in this industry. He need me to last, blah, blah, blah. AJ Styles got mad, boom, popped him in his mouth, beat him up until the Miz crawled his way to the entrance ramp. So that was that. Then you had a Raw recap of Dean Ambrose getting into Brock Lesnar's face tonight. They made sure to re-emphasize that. Third match, Brie Bella with Alicia Fox versus Charlotte with Ric Flair. Brie started off strong, and then soon Charlotte dominated her. Brie Bella, the Bella twins overall, they aren't really fluent with a lot of their moves. It's boom, 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 stop, Hulk, look at the crowd, do a little bit something, stop, walk, look at the crowd. It's not constant movement, boom, boom, boom. But Charlotte ended up beating up on her a little bit, then was going for the figure four, and Brie turned it into a small package, grabbed her by her hair, pinned her up, put it into a small package pin, got the pin victory, rolled out the ring. Match was still average, 2 out of 5. They did a SmackDown recap of the Wyatt family beating up Roman Reigns until the Big Show came and saved them. And then they let us know that Bret Hart let the world know that he has colon cancer. Godspeed on the recovery with you, buddy. That's one of the good ones. Hart family. I've actually had the opportunity to interact with some of the Hart family. They're all good people. All good people. Fourth match. It was Eric Rowan. Of course, he had Luke Harper and Braun Strowman with him versus the Big Show. That match was kind of predictable too, but the Big Show, despite the Wyatt family being around the ring, the Big Show whooped up on Eric Rowan and got the pin victory. And then, of course, the Wyatt family jumped him and just whooped him. And then they did a double suplex of the Big Show on those metal steps. Of course, nobody ran out and helped the Big Show. Why would they? He just went and saved somebody last week. WWE, you're right. It's just too inconsistent, bruh. Come on. So that was that. Fifth match. That's it. That match was a 2 out of 5. It was average. Fifth match. Titus O'Neil versus Tyler Breeze. Titus O'Neil is a big guy, and Tyler Breeze is not. Tyler Breeze needs to be in the cruiserweight division. WWE need to do the cruiserweight division. Create the division. Use your talent. Tyler Breeze will be excellent in the cruiserweight division. Titus O'Neil pretty much dominated the cat. Boom. Clash of the Titans. 1, 2, 3. Match was average. 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. It was an average match. Then you had Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman talking in the back, and Triple H comes in and tell Paul Heyman, "Hey, can you excuse us for a second?" All right, bet. Triple H was like, "Wait a minute, you gonna let Dean Ambrose just come up in your face and tell you stuff and then walk out and you ain't do nothing? He lived?" He's like, "Man, is Suplex City getting soft?" Brock Lesnar simply said, "Well, we'll see when I meet you at WrestleMania." That's that. Crowd went crazy for it. Sixth match. That was Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens. That was predictable for me because if you remember last week, Kevin Owens, last Raw, matter of fact, Kevin Owens really dominated Ziggler and got the win. So Kevin Owens, he pretty much started off real strong and dominated Dolph Ziggler again for the majority of the match. And then out of nowhere, he went for that pop-up power bomb, and Dolph Ziggler was able to land on his feet, hit the zigzag, boom, get the pin victory, even though he was dominated the whole time. And that match was about a 2 out of 5. Funniest thing about that match was after the match, Kevin Owens got upset, took Michael Cole's paper, threw it in his chest, and then knocked JBL hat off of the commentary table into almost in the crowd. That was hilarious. So they, since it's February 1st, start of Black History Month, they had to do a segment on a WWE wrestler for Black History Month. They showed Mark Henry a really good featurette on him, so that was nice. Sasha Banks comes to the ring, and she, they had a Royal Rumble recap of her coming out and beating up Becky after Becky and Charlotte had their match, and then beating up Charlotte and putting in a bank statement. And Sasha Banks pretty much said that she's going to roll solo from this point because she's here to win that title, and she's ready to take on the title. So of course, Naomi and Tamina comes out and was like, "Look, we'll approve of your move. It is what it is. We can still be competitors and still be friends. We still have your back." And she was like, "Well, I'm about to fight Becky right now. You gonna stay out here?" She's like, "Hey, if you think you got it by yourself, then we'll just leave." Sasha was like, "Well, I didn't say that." So of course, the seventh match was Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch. Back and forth action until Sasha Banks knocks Becky Lynch out of the ring. Naomi and Tamina grabs Becky Lynch, and was about to hit her. Sasha Banks rolled out, was like, "Look, I don't need y'all help. I didn't even ask y'all to be out here." Well, you did kind of just say that, but hey, who am I to question the storyline? So, hey, Sasha Banks threw Becky Lynch back in the ring, and Naomi and Sasha Banks pushed. Sasha Banks was about to get back in the ring. Her and Tamina um, jumped her, and they jumped her until Becky Lynch came, and Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks stood in the ring, and Naomi and Tamina was looking from the outside of the ring, crowd chant NXT, things like that. So I believe Sasha Banks won by disqualification. Average match, 2 out of 5. And then they had a Raw recap of AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho match. And then Chris Jericho was interviewed about his match, and Chris Jericho pretty much said, "Look, the dude proved that he real deal, like he's ready for the long term here in the WWE. So, I'm looking forward to AJ Styles versus The Miz on this upcoming SmackDown. I'm going to be paying close attention to it." So, obviously, AJ Styles and Y2J are going to clash heads again. So, next thing they shot to was R-Truth. It was R-Truth going to the restroom, and Goldust perching on the toilet. He tries to get up because R-Truth opened up the stall, startles R-Truth. He accidentally sticks his foot in the toilet. And he's like, "Look, R-Truth, I just wanted to ask you again, would you consider being my tag team partner? I think we should form the Golden Truth." R-Truth was like, "Nah, man." He's like, and Goldust like, "Why not?" He said, "Look, bro, you're a weirdo." And Goldust like, "Huh?" I said, "Man, you got poop on your shoe." Goldust looked down like, "But R-Truth, who was your last tag team partner? Wasn't it Lil Jimmy? Wasn't Lil Jimmy the imaginary?" R-Truth was like, "Oh man, you cut me deep saying that." So R-Truth just left. And then, Goldust was like, "Oh man, I should have said interplanetary like my brother. Not fictional, not imaginary." So, it'd be good to actually see them together. So your final match was actually the New Day versus Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, and Paul Heyman was ringside. The match that Stephanie said that they were going to do, and it was actually a really good, match. It started off with the New Day coming down to the ring, grabbing the mics, and shaming The Rock for using foul language on television. He said, "Reshame him, shame, reshame him, shame, reshame him, shame." New Day doing their thing, and they started off the match, and it was Xavier Woods set out of this one, and it was a back and forth action until Xavier Woods really interfered. Then it was the New Day, then it got back to back and forth action, and a long story short, Roman Reigns ended up Superman punching Xavier, not Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and then the Dirty Deeds was put on Biggie Langston, and they ended up getting the pin victory. And then you heard boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, ba-boom. Brock Lesnar music hit. He comes down to the ring. Of course, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose like, come on. And the New Day attack him from behind. Boom, 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 boom. They fighting. Roman Reigns in Kofi Kingston, they actually go outside to the ring and they pretty much crash and burn with each other. And Biggie Langston, got Dean Ambrose down, or since they cut away, you didn't really see it. Next thing you know, Dean Ambrose is on Brock Lesnar's shoulders. F5, boom. Brock Lesnar leaves out the ring. Paul Heyman leaves, and that's how they ended the show. Hey, Playtime cares on everything. Follow me on everything. Tell your people to subscribe. Tell me how you want these things done better. Give me the thumbs up. Give me the thumbs down. At least you're looking. It doesn't matter. Just let me know how you want me to improve things. Playtime out.